gonna get another one, but he never settled in. Hello, Brian. Are you ready for the meeting? Okay. No, that's okay. I have Shirley on the other line, so. Okay, we'll go ahead and start. I have Craig here, who will run the meeting, and we have Shirley on the phone and you, so we have a call on that. So we'll go ahead. Craig, you go ahead and call the meeting to order.
All right, call to order Stuart Municipal Utilities meeting Thursday, October 13th, 2022, 5:30 p.m. Roll call.
Brian? Here. Shirley?
Here.
John? Not here. Avi? Not here. Craig?
Here.
All right. Agenda.
All right, we have the agenda approval from last week's meeting. Do I have a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Shirley, seconded by Brian. How do you vote? Shirley?
Aye.
Brian? Yes. Craig?
Aye. All right, consent agenda, meetings of regular meeting from 9/8/2022, financial statements as of 9/30/2022, and bills as presented. Do I have a motion?
Moved by Brian,
I'll second it.
seconded by Shirley. How do you vote? Craig?
Aye.
Shirley, aye. Brian? Okay, fine.
All right, we've got Snyder and Associates review and approval of water main pay application 3, Great Plains Contractors for $406,924.33. And then we've got a project update.
Yeah, so glad to be here again tonight. As we mentioned a few minutes ago, the water main contractor has been in town for 2-3 months now, and they've gotten a whole lot of work done already. They're quite a bit ahead of schedule at the beginning, which is good place to be. There'll be some months this winter, I'm sure, that they don't get near as much done. But for right now, they're getting a lot of 6-inch main in the ground. They have not done too many service connections yet, but I believe they're planning to work on those as it starts to get a little colder, maybe in November, December. I think they want to get that north end of town done and then we'll come down across the tracks and start working on the south end of town next spring. So we don't have any, so you already mentioned the pay up amount. That does include some stored materials plus all the work that's completed to date. According to the little tracking sheet that we have, we are 17.8% completed of the work installed, 11.6% of the time used. So that's a nice little safety cushion there. Also, stored materials are running at $685,000 right now, but that's down from what it was before. So as they put those materials in the ground, they come off the stored materials list and go onto the install list. And so, any other questions on that? Then I can give you a brief update on the water tower.
If there's no question, we need a motion.
Yeah, we need a motion on the approval for the paying the contractor the $406,924.33. Do I have a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. How do you vote? Shirley?
Aye.
Craig?
Aye.
Brian? Okay, motion here. Go ahead on the budget.
Yeah, so on the water tower, there's no pay up this month because there was no work this month. I'm told the subcontractor for the water main connection to the grid should be here late October, early November. The next major piece of construction on that will be erecting the steel. January, February, right now. They can do welding and then when it warms up in the spring, they water tower in about April. And then the last piece would be the electrical controls for that tower. And then we should be done sometime in the summer.
You know, I don't think we ever got back. We asked them how much it was gonna cost to add SMU.
You know, I just talked with Maria this week, and she did say that she owed me some stuff on that, so I should be getting an email soon, and then I'll get that over to you.
Okay.
Well, there's no questions for, yeah, thank you for
Okay.
coming tonight.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it
Just
For you.
scan everything, or do you have it already?
Very good.
Great.
Thank you. All right, number 6, the hail damage and bids, or I guess the bid in this case.
We received one bid, you can go ahead and open that.
I'll let Greg do it. I like it.
Okay.
It's only one,
So you want it from Reeves Roofing,
it's from Reeves Roofing, and I think, let's have a look here at the last page. Do I read that right?
$56,525.61 for total of the estimation. Is that just, yeah, that's by building, I believe. Or is that 100%? Because yeah, over here is a greater total,
Here's
here's,
a summary right here.
okay.
And that's the same as what you're looking at.
Yeah, this is, looks like it's a total general demolition, metal structures and components, roofing, soffit fascia gutters, subtax materials. So yeah,
Yep.
this is just,
I'm
that says
assuming-
northeast building location, that's substation 6. What is there a difference here?
There's like 3 different buildings, and
Okay.
he must have added in the eave spouts for the south substation.
Yeah, it's about $1,200. So.
Yep. So that would be the actual amount right there.
57.
57,746 and 18 cents.
Okay, that's the only bid we received. If it's okay with the board, we need a motion to accept the bid.
Now, just for clarification, this is being covered by insurance.
Yes, we received the check from the insurance and
I believe
Reeves will be working with the insurance too, if
Sure.
there's any difference.
Okay.
And then we have any other stuff?
there's what we got from the insurance. If they get the work
All
done,
buildings were damaged.
then we,
Say that again, Brian.
What? All buildings were damaged.
Pat,
the 3 utility buildings that we have out here, it's kind of by the city building. There's 3 utility buildings there. And then out at the south substation, it was the downspouts on the west side of the building.
And then what's the deductible? So if it's 57, and what's our out-of-pocket deductible or off of that?
What is our deductible on this? Do you have any idea, Ash? I don't see it on your, it's got depreciation on it.
Yeah, the depreciation, is that just, that's got the insurance information on it.
Yeah, I don't have.
This is just the bid sheets here. You want that one? There you go. It's just taxes.
I'm not seeing any reference to deductible here, Brian. But I will get into it and get back to you on that. But I'm not seeing any reference here.
No,
Just a second, 5,000, 5,000, Brian.
Okay.
5,000.
So there's gonna be $5,000 cost to the utility, for the repairs then?
Right. Well,
With the calculation,
he's a
the
little,
bids came with 57 and we received 53.
so we're gonna be a little.
And then the insurance said that it might be the difference too. So they might not be out. This is just a payment to start and then they will be covering anything else. So that's what I heard. So when we get to the bottom of it, I'll give you the final figure.
As far as the deductible, then, they can commit, normally a hail or something like that is not something that should drive up the premium, but it would be worth a question to that insurance agent to see if getting the commitment that would not cause an increase in rate
Yeah,
from a claim like that,
yes,
because it's weather related.
yes, I see your point. But as far as deductible, we have,
Okay.
right, if we're okay with that, we need a motion to approve the bids, receipt,
I'll make a motion.
moved by Craig, seconded by Brian. How do you vote? Shirley,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Okay. Motion carried. Let's see.
All right, number 7, resolution number 22-14U, resolution of Board of Municipal Utilities of the City of Stuart, Iowa, amending previous resolution number 19-04U by changing the electric rates of all classes of customers.
Is there a way that we can get this broken down into, consumption, tiers like we did the water and, revisit this for next month and have the vendor put that together like Chip did for a rate study?
Isn't that something that you did, Sarah? You broke it down by classes?
So electric is a little bit different than water, and we use DGR to do those studies since there's a lot more to it.
Okay.
So, Pat, maybe you could ask Blair if he would be able to attend the next meeting.
I can ask.
Okay. So we want to table this item to next meeting?
The longer we go without raising the rate, the more money we lose.
Yeah, I mean, we had an effective date this past today of December 15th. Are we still gonna try to hit that date, or are we gonna have to have a legal obligation to make for a time period, or how does that work?
Whatever you decide will affect the next billing cycle because it does take time to change it on our end.
Sure. So a minimum of probably the January billing cycle, January 15th effective date. Okay.
We went through this, decided that we had to raise it, and we weren't gonna raise it by, 3%?
Yes,
So we have to do something, because they're charging us, what was it, 12 or
Yeah,
9?
you're right, Shirley. I mean, if we don't do anything now, we're just gonna be out that amount of money.
Right.
But studying into raises based on consumption would be similar to what we did with water. We still did the water rate increase. So to have better information and have a study done that would be representative of our consumption versus hitting homeowners, I guess to me, I'd like to see that information.
Well, I think we talked to Chip, didn't we? And he discussed this, wasn't it, Chip?
I didn't think Chip handled the utility rate.
Well,
He helps with it sometimes.
I knew there was another man that came in, but we had talked about it.
Well, Blair Metzger from DGR was here at the last meeting and he
Yeah.
explained why everything was gonna go up the way it was. And he just, I think it was, all across the board at all classes that were gonna get raised
Right.
the same amount or the
And
same
then there'll be
percentage.
another one in a year.
Yeah, well, possibly the beginning of next, that soon. Because what has happened since then, they raised the rate again October 1st, and I talked to Blair about it. But he built enough into this current raise that we're looking at to cover that. The only thing we're gonna have to be aware of is somewhere in December, January, February, looking at putting a permanent rate increase in place. And then at that time, we'll have to revisit it and see where we are.
Now, at that time, what would happen to that temporary, was it 3 mil raise they put in?
Yeah, see, the ones they're putting in right now are just temporary, and they're done at the end of this year. They're done at the end of December.
Okay.
Yeah.
So potentially, some of that could be offset a future increase by what these temporary ones are going down, to
Right,
some extent. So
It
it would
could.
cover it all, but
it could,
it would cushion that a little bit.
right.
I mean, do we remember the figures we had before on potentially what our monthly loss was until we raised these rates? We don't have our own top rates. Okay.
I know for the most recent one, that started, October 1st, it looked like we were gonna lose about $12,000 by the end of the year. But that was already built in the one that we're looking at tonight, so
Sure.
we're not gonna worry about that one. But as far as what those other two previous ones were, I don't remember. One was in May and the other one was in July. So,
I mean, from my perspective, based on what I remember when Blair was here discussing it, I mean, I think what he laid out was fair across everything. It was a general increase across all classes. You know, I mean, I would feel comfortable moving forward with a motion on this and put it in place. I mean, Brian, I do agree. I mean, it's something we should get those numbers, so when and if we have to look at a secondary increase, we can be better prepared. But I think for this one, we should go ahead and approve it as is. But for any secondary ones, it would be nice to have that information to help us make potentially better recommendations going forward.
So it's responsible to get that information. We're not caught backwards like we are right now. Have it from the beginning, so it's proactive. We're not having a board meeting with, like you said, I mean, incomplete data. Good work for that vendor that we should expect to have that information ahead of time.
normally I talk to Blair at DGR and I can request from him to do it any way we want it done. And he would be more
Okay,
than.
so, gotcha, so we could request to have a full spread of consumption-based rate, increases for the second increase that needs to be considered based off of, like they did the water breakdown, and make that part of the motion.
We could do that next time. To a certain extent.
Okay,
I just, I mean, my complete, point on this is similar to the water. I don't like raising rates on any of the folks that are, in our community living there and all that, and all of this, it's called capital play, and all this money from these large businesses that leave the town, and the wages that the people are paid to work there for our local people is not sufficient. And then all of this large margin business, those are our large customers for utilities. I'd rather see the cost go to them versus the folks that are trying to make it. That's all I'm getting at.
Set up like that on the electric side. The burden is put most on the bigger users and less on the residential. Is that what you were kind of getting at?
It is. I just, like I said, I'd like to see the increase being leveraged that way too, because those dollars are much more than folks, like I said, they're trying to, pay $4 gas to take in fees. I just don't want to. That's just my position. People that are working at the interstate are not the ones that are, that's how they're trying to pay bills versus living on the margins of, the owners of the people that, the owners of the business of the state. That's all. If they keep an increase on that side, that's all I'm getting.
Yeah, I get that. And, for this permanent increase that's gonna be coming in the next few months, that's something that we can have them do. And then bring a proposal to us, and if we don't like it, we don't have to approve it.
Okay, or if they can bring in multiple ones, that they can, layer in more on the higher, on the consumption base, or the rate base, like you mentioned, the commercial side, then,
Yep. We can definitely do that.
okay.
all right, so.
And I'll make a motion to pass the resolution number 22-14U.
Moved by Craig,
I'll second it.
seconded by Shelley. How do you vote? Shirley?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Craig?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carried. Okay,
Number 8, city administrator reports.
okay, I'll go over it very quick and brief. Our cash in the bank is 10.5 on the page. Second page, it shows that the difference between the beginning balance, July 1st, and the end of September, we lost a lot of money, but 1.2 million we have really lost because we have money aside to do the budget. So we're taking money from the money that allocated to the budget. On page 3, we still wasn't the budget, our budget is 3.7 million, we spent 2.3, so we still wasn't the budget. Page 4, just the month of September between the beginning and the ending, it shows a loss of 520,000, still not a loss because we still operating on the money allocated to the budget. Page is the breakdown for the budget, which we still fund showing loss, but it's not a loss, we're using the money on the side. We go to the report of the delinquent account, there is no change, that's page 1 and 2. And then we go to the next report delinquent account, we have 2 account on page 2 with the check mark to the right and left. That takes us to the end of the report. The next report, the payment agreement, we have 7 people with the check mark on the right. But after that, the pay in full payment agreement, we have 2 shown on page 6. That takes care of that report. The next report is budget billing. Only 1 person we added with the check mark on the right without saying names. The next report, disease and bankrupt, no change. Last report is the offset program, just for your information, how much we collected. That takes care of the report. And at this point, we will.
Public forum.
Anyone has anything to talk about in a public forum? Yes. Go ahead.
Not a whole lot. We just discussed part of what I was gonna talk about, where there's gonna be another rate increase coming up. It's unavoidable with the way the power market is right now. And it's completely, I know Simco, where we buy our power from, that they're seeing 20 and 30% increases from buying power. So they gotta pass it on to somebody. And one other thing that is gonna be coming up, we have a 40-year contract with them. We're 8 years into it. And they open it up to their advantage a lot of times, but also to ours. They open it up occasionally and change a few things because things change as you go along. 40 years is a long time to never change anything. So we're gonna have a meeting on it on the Symeca level in November. We're gonna have the Symeca attorney take a look at it and make sure there's nothing in there that's gonna hurt municipals. There's 15 of us municipals that are in the, that are customers of Citgo that makes up Symeca. So my understanding is next month or in December sometime, we're gonna have that attorney look at it and make sure it's good for all the towns. Before, we're gonna have to sign it again. And we're gonna get the new contract from Citgo, and then I'll bring it to a board meeting, and we're gonna have to sign it. And that's probably, we're probably looking at January, February for that, because there's a lot of work to be done on it yet. So
Thank you, Ben.
that's all I got.
Thank you. If nothing else, thank you
Meeting
all.
adjourned.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Shirley, for coming.
Great.
Thank you.
Great, you did a good job.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.